Hi ladies and gents, Pond here with another video for Rise of Empires, Ice and Fire. Thank you so much for your previous likes, comments and subscriptions to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, why not click on that button and ring the bell so you can get notifications of whenever I'm dropping content on the channel. And now on to the topic of this video. It's been a crazy week in row. It's Friday and we have had new technology drop into the game. So in version 0.230, we have Lofty Legion. It was announced through the kind of social media channels yesterday, and some players also were able to get access to the research yesterday. So there was a lot of chat in the community about it. And today, this morning, the devs have released 0.230 on Android, so we can have a look at what it is. So we've all got messages in Rise of Empire Studio. Dear Lord, new tech, Lofty Legion is now available. Some courage medals and regular resources will be required to upgrade the Lofty Legion tech. So the headline straight away is no war badges are required for this technology. So that is a real big positive for me. This technology is going to be obtainable for all players, free to play and spenders. So that is a real thumbs up from me. I'm really pleased to hear that. The tech will boost the combat capabilities of footmen, archers and cavalry. With the tech you will be able to have more T10 soldiers and improve stats in HP, might and resistance. In terms of access, so for those of you that are newer to the game, you won't be getting access to this tech until season X8 or later. And as it says, please update your game version to 0.230. I think around states, 360, 400 are all in SX8. So that's a considerable amount of the community should be getting access to this tech today. And today is the 22nd of April. 2022 for those of you watching the video in the future. So let's get straight in and have a look at this tech. So it's right down the bottom next to Raider Legion. So Lofty Legion. This is one of the first times that I'm properly looking at it as well. So we've got considerable amounts of tech here. Usual, 20 nodes, 40 nodes for this end section. That's the most we've ever seen in some technology. 40 levels. So let's have a look. Well-planned rescue. When you reinforce allies, your resistance increases. Now something I've already noticed, and this is going to be good news for experienced free-to-play players who are struggling to get 9 chests on a Wednesday. If you have a look at this increase in combat power, bearing in mind this is just the first line of the tech, it's 31,000 power total for this first section. That's really good. If you just compare this to, for instance, Lofty Tech, that only gives you 10,000 extra power, and in Raider Legion it's only 14,000. So presuming that does cascade down through this technology, you're going to be able to gain a lot of tech points from doing this Lofty Legion technology, and that means you should be able to get 9 chests for many weeks, hopefully potentially months worth of chests. So that is also a good decision by the devs, because obviously for free to play players it's been a real struggle. For us experienced players that have been playing for 2-3 years, you're struggling to you can't do chests on a Tuesday unless you've got wonders in season, and then with obviously the high cost of war badges and the amount needed to complete levels of technology in the other 2 advanced researches, it's just not possible to consistently get 9 chests. So let's continue with what these other sections of training are going to give you. More soldiers can be trained at a time. That's another 3,000. And then this right hand section, when you are reinforced, your allies' resistance increases. Okay. Next line, when you reinforce, your might increases. More soldiers can be strengthened at a time, so that's enhanced in the military university, and that is an extra 20,000 at a time, so that's a significant amount increase. And then we've got fighting back. When you are reinforced, your allies' might increases. On to the next, footman HP increase. So this is a key section, 10% increase in footman HP. And then this is the next interesting element of these research. You will not be increasing your cavalry HP. So again, similar to what we saw in Raider Legion, which gives you this increase in footmen and archers marching speed, with Lofty Legion, it's kind of trying to bridge that gap between the meta troop type of cavalry and obviously the weaker 2 footmen and archers. So you can see on here, you'll get an archer's HP increase of 10% as well. and your cavalry are only getting an increase of 10% might, which when you think the max accounts are nearly 1,000% might now, often are over 1,000% might, that's really minimal, and you can actually gain more might boosts from just completing your wonder buildings for those of us in the advanced stages. So field hospital, increased max wounded for your medical tents by 150,000. That's pretty good, because around the max is 770,000 something, so that's a decent increase there. And if we just have a quick look at these power increases, you see already 81,000 power, extra power, just at this section of the research. Footman's Mania 2, another HP increase of 10%. And then, as I expect, cavalry in fight, it's giving you extra 10% of cavalry might. And the right hand section is 10% extra HP for archers. So that's bridging the gap by 20%. Footmen expansion, higher cap for level 10 footmen of 500,000, and that's the same for cavalry and archers as well. So this is encouraged. Obviously, one of the issues that you had was that you can only train so many T10 troops in your account. Obviously, there are ways to increase that through Lofty Warrior Tech, and now this is another example as well. So this Lofty Legion is quite focused on T10 improvements, and obviously I presume that is because the devs want to encourage spenders, for instance, to focus on T10. T10 training time is horrendous. It requires so much gems, like I think it's around 21,000 gems just for each time. Of course, you can promote in the military university, but it takes like 23 days, I think. So it's just crazy. All soldiers resistance for armor refinement increases, just 5% though, but huge power increases. So that's not a great amount, to be honest. Next up, Footman's Raid. Footman tactical might increases 10%, so that is a good buff on tactical might. As we know, like tactical might is only in the low, like around 120%, for instance. So this is a decent overall increase for each of the 3 troop types. And then we are getting an increase in tactical resistance from the next line. So Footman Shield, again, this is 10%. Tactical resistance, cavalry, tactical resistance for archers. And then finally, we're getting another increase in the cap for level 10 footmen, and it's 500,000 again for each of the 3 troop types, level 10 troop types. So an extra 1 million troops increase. Blade hardening, all soldiers might increases, only by 5% again though. So it's very small. That's a very small increase. So it's interesting they've done that, to be honest. And then we're into the final sections of the research. Steel Shield, level 10 footmen's resistance increases. So all of these additional resources at the end of the research tree is focused purely on level 10 T10 troops, I believe. And this is, even though there's 40 levels, you're still only gaining 10% extra resistance. How much that is, and it's obviously cavalry and archers. Next line is footman might. Same again, 10%. Those are minimal increases. I'm surprised they haven't actually done a larger amount. But if you look at the total power for these research sections, 274,000. So this again, when you're down to these levels, you're easily going to be achieving your 9th chests every week. And then the 10% extra might for archers on the right. And then the last section is higher cap for level 10 footmen again. So, and this is now an extra million. So a total of 2 million extra T10 troops for each troop type. Not an increase in the HP, interestingly. So this is all about this research. A big part of this research is all about just increasing the number of T10 troops. And then Blessing of Life actually does have, oh, here we go. Here is the HP. And it's a 5% increase on HP. I'm surprised it's not higher. It's not 10%, to be honest, but there you go. And these are huge increases. 300,000 power for that last section. And at least compared to the Master Warfares, they do actually have a function. If we compare, I just want to quickly compare. So if you look, these power increases for like capture, for instance, was a total of 236,000. So Lofty Legion is going to give you lots of good opportunities for quite some time to hit 9th chest. I think maybe even if you're a free-to-play player, it could be as much as of a year that you could be completing this technology. I'm sure it will be. Now, the key thing you might have noticed is obviously it's using courage medals, and from the early sections, these very early levels look 180, for instance. But as we go through, it's 1000, and on the very last, it's starting at 1.8k. Now, Astro from Tarin State 46 has done a bit of this research yesterday. They were one of the people with early access in terms of courage medal usage. So, looking at these levels for this top 3 sections, you're looking at 30,000 courage medals. Then the next 3 was 44,040, and then the third section was 118,380 medals. The latest I have on the chat groups was that someone had done 48% of this research yesterday, and they had used 900,000 courage medals. Now I haven't seen proof of that. That's just what I've seen in the chat group. So if you take into account that obviously in theory you're looking at potentially 2 million courage medals to complete this technology. Now when you consider that Master Warfare took about 750,000, this is obviously quite further down the line, and the devs want to encourage free-to-play players to keep playing the game, and this is new technology. You could see people having to take a free-to-play player. This could take you, you make about 30,000 badges a week, don't you? So, I'm not sure. I need to quickly do some math. Yeah, it's 67 weeks. So it would take you, it's going to take you about a year and 4 months to complete this technology in theory. If you're a free-to-play player and you don't have any courage medals because you've already been using them, which could potentially be someone, who's in SX8. From my point of view, as a very experienced player, I have 750,000 courage medals already. The main reason for that is that I wasn't using a lot of medals through Raider Legion, but you do need courage medals for these Raider Legion techs as well as the war badges. So there's going to be like a double drain on your courage medals. But there you go. That is everything I know on Lofty Legion at the moment. Mike, in summary, obviously it is a positive for all of us free-to-play and small spenders that there is new technology out that doesn't require war badges. It's available to a significant part of the community. Obviously, for those players that are playing in the older states that might come up against players in Clash of Province, it's going to increase the disparity there. But the main thing for me is, this is something that it will, of course, initially increase the disparity between top spenders and free-to-play players, because the top spenders might just go ahead and max this in the first couple of weeks. But equally, there's going to be loads of experienced players out there who are like me. You've still got hundreds of thousands of courage medals that you've been accumulating since you finished your master technology, and you can't physically use that much on Raider Legion because you require so many war badges for that, and you're not acquiring so many war badges because you're not spending. And being able to hit 9th chest, obviously, every Wednesday for a year and a quarter is a massive bonus as well. So I think, and how much will this influence the game? I mean, it's going to be, the interesting thing will be how much will top spenders now actually use T10 troops. I know most people actually just don't even use them, partly because of the limited amounts that they can have, partly because the differential between them and T9 wasn't so great. So the fact that now they're getting a boost, will we see more people trying to train T10 troops and use them in normal combat? That's going to be interesting to see in the coming weeks and months. So there we go, guys. That is Lofty Legion technology. I hope you found this video helpful. Of course, if you have, please do click on that like And if you have any other additional information about the technology, or if you have any comments about what are your thoughts on this new technology, do you think it's a positive or a negative by the devs that they've dropped this into the game, then I'd be interested to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. And of course, if you could please share this video and my channel in your online chat, forum chat, and through Line, WhatsApp, Viber, Discord, whatever you use to communicate with your fellow players in the game, that would be very much appreciated. Again, thanks to Astro for sharing this document with me, and that's it for now, and I'll see you soon.